for coming
Thanks,
on. So we're hesitant to take up the story partly because it seemed on the surface so complicated, but when you dig in a little bit, it's not so complicated. They were spying on Trump as a candidate and as the president of the United States from the White House. Why is this not the biggest story of the year?
Right. It's an enormous national security scandal. I hear people comparing it to Watergate, and it does not compare to Watergate at all. What we're talking about when we talk about the executive office of the president, this is some of the most secure communications that we have in the United States, and the fact that these were being tapped. The idea that these were under surveillance. We know certainly the DNS systems, and it may be more data as well. We don't know that yet. But the idea that the Oval Office and other important offices in the White House were under surveillance by political operatives is extraordinary. It's shocking, and I'm talking to people who were investigating this on the Hill for several years, and they're shocked.
Well, because I think you described it precisely right. It's more than a political story. It's a national security story. And the irony here is Hillary Clinton shrieks about hacking servers and Russia spying on the DNC when people acting on her behalf are literally spying on the president of the United States in the White House. So, if she can do it, why can't everyone do it? Honestly.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is an enormous issue, actually, because, again, all we know so far is that they had access to this data. Did bad foreign actors have access to this data as well? Did they know what was going on? Because, again, this is a target of every intelligence service around the world and has been since there's been a White House. So, again, that's extraordinary. And the idea that Hillary Clinton, that we've been living in the psyche of this deranged and depraved harridan for 5 years. And now we understand even more the scope and depravity of this operation. It's terrible for the country.
Well, it really is. And by the way, if Trump's name wasn't in this story, I think people would feel free to admit it. I don't care whose name is. If they're doing this, they were doing this to the current president, whom I despise. I would still think it was a terrible thing, because it is. Lee Smith, I appreciate it. Thank you for all the work you've done on this.
Thank you, Tucker.
So it's been an action-packed day. In other news, Canada became a dictatorship today. It actually did. No longer democracy. Justin Trudeau has declared that he is fully in charge. He has declared martial law in Canada in response to the truck protest. He's also declared that they now control cryptocurrency and crowdfunding and your bank account. It's a dictatorship. That's what that's called. Details.